Alright, so, life. Well, all I can say about life is it's one fucking fun ride at times, then sometimes you're falling right down into the dust like nothing ever mattered. Maybe nothing does matter if you really think about it, because what is the most important thing about our lives? We get money. Oh yeah. Greed is so not the root of all evil. Oh wait, actually yes it is. Damn you, Chaucer, for your Cadbury tales and all those things, and yeah. So, carrying on from that aspect of reality, yeah, our lives really don't amount to anything more than a number, a checkbook number, debts and so forth, yeah. Fun thing, those debts. Really, if you think about it for a second. Alright, are you done thinking? Because I gave you about a little less than a second. More, whatever. I'm tired. It's been a rough day at school today. I'm just wanting to get fucking relaxed. And it's not fun when you get home, alone. And the main thing on your mind right now is, damn, my life sucks. Holy cow. Yeah. All I gotta say about that is, I really don't know anymore. Once before I lied to myself, I felt all happy and so forth. But now, it's just, everything's stacking up and life just starts not making much sense, to be honest. At least I'm trying now, though, because all the other years before, I never even tried at all. It was kind of funny when I did start trying that I noticed I forgot like 8 years of my life. 8 years. That is insane if you think about it. 8 years of me barely talking, 8 years of me barely learning anything. But I lived through that like it was alright. It wasn't alright. I really learned nothing from all the other teachers. I didn't even try, and maybe a few of them were amazing teachers. They just didn't get me to try as hard as I wanted to. But yeah, that's all you have to think. When you're 18, the majority of your life is only lived in school. You don't understand life at all. At all. Just saying that because, really, look at it like this. You live your life. Alright. Okay. You're born. Going through all the motions called life. Your parents are like, oh, look at this little child. And everyone else is like, oh. But honestly, give it a few more years. People are like, get away from me. Then, when they're a teenager, they're like, get rid of it. Exercise it. Crucify it. Destroy it. Yeah. So, essentially, religious people are damned. Honestly. That comes out of nowhere in that, but think about it. Alright, I did say crucified. That's probably why my mind's going like, holy cow, crucifixion. How crazy is that? Even though, oddly, I was kind of thinking about that while the assembly today. It was kind of weird. I was sitting there just like, oh my god, how long does this shit have to go on? And then, while just being annoyed by the cheerleaders, the football players, and all that jazz, I really don't give a shit about them because they're useless people in the end. But I don't say that out loud because I don't like hurting people's feelings. So, honestly, while I was sitting there, I was like, I'd rather enjoy someone shoving a nail up my wrist than sitting here next to all these retards and just being like, yeah, woo, yeah, this is nice, yeah, woo, go fight, win. Yeah, I'm not a type of person like that. I really don't give a shit about sports. I don't have strength. So, honestly, getting better with strength and endurance and so forth, that has no principle within my life. Knowledge, on the other hand, education even, does matter. But wait, education and sports have to be important? What the fuck is going on here? Because you look at that. Education and sports should be separate, absolutely separate things if you think about it. Because education, everyone goes through that. Even the people who can't do physical labor. But yeah, they're like, hey, take a PE. It's our responsibility to make sure you're thin. Yeah, because, yeah, your parents definitely feed you correctly all the time. So you shouldn't be fat. You shouldn't have a big ass like that. And then I just look around the hallways and I'm like, so many fat people. Like, seriously, just fat. I'm just going through there and I'm like, you can walk. Why are you fat? Why? You can physically move yourself. I, on the other hand, can barely even, move at all. So let's think about that. Where's your justification? I understand some people just like to eat. I understand that because I love to eat. Especially red meat. Yum. Even though I eat way too much of that. But I get through by just saying, well, I'm in a wheelchair. Get over it. And it usually works for the most part because honestly I worry about the protein. Anything other than that, I'm just like, yeah, not necessary. But when you think about that, I am one extreme weird case if you really think about it. I just live my life trying to create my own happiness, and then there's people just like, alright, you have to do this, 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 and criticize every living, living, what the hell? Damn, my mind. Yeah, whatever. Alright. Criticizes everything you do. It's like, you do one thing, it's completely wrong. No matter how right you think you are a dumbass, a teenager, and you should just shut up because your teacher obviously, even if they're on Facebook during presentations that they should be grading, they believe they're right and better than you. Not always. There's some dumbass teachers that, for the love of everything sane, I can't tell why they are like this. They just think that they're so all-powerful, something to be marveled. I hate to tell them, you are scum of the earth at times. Because, honestly, how you guys grade us, mostly based on tests, rigorous quizzing, study, they barely ask us to think for ourselves. Do you think that is right at all? That we can't think for ourselves, and then when we do, they're like, oh, stop it. Don't. I don't want to hear this. Oh my god, I don't know how to grade this. Ah! Yeah, so basically, that's what all teachers deal with students like. And maybe it's correct, maybe it's wrong. I think it's wrong. Well, obviously, if I'm going into this much detail, I have to obviously feel like this is wrong. Really, really wrong. Wrong. Extremely wrong. Exactly. So, carrying on to another detail, because I hate talking about education, because I have to be there for school. I don't want to talk about it anymore. I'd rather have it explode from my mind, painfully. Then, even talk about 1 second outside of school, because really, I learn way much more without them than I do with them. A lot of the teachers, let me say, my only normal class I have right now, which I'm just, well, I have 2 of those classes, but, Mr. British is not that bad. He does get on my nerves at times, honestly, but he's doing that to help me at least. At least there is one teacher I know that does try to help your students, his students. But yeah, just help his students try their hardest and become something of themselves. That is a marvelous thing a teacher can do. But then my other normal class, well, I'm just going to leave it as I feel like I'm getting mind raped repeatedly, and harder every time. At least it's only a semester class. I could not deal with it any longer. I may have to gouge out my eyes one day. Probably not, but the idea, the sentiment of gouging your eyes out just says a lot. A lot. Really. If you're willing to gouge your eyes out for something, then you are either a romantic person, or you're insane, or you're really annoyed by someone. Which annoyance and insanity run together in many retrospects if you think about it. Yeah. So, 11 minutes so far. That's pretty awesome. I don't know what to talk about next. Maybe... Let's keep this going. I am horrible thinking on the spot. Yeah, we're going with this. Well, politics. Yeah, they're damned. Alright, moving on yet again. So, Shakespeare. Gonna have to read King Lear in a bit. Oh, that's gonna be fun. Especially the book that I have is completely in how he wrote it. So, I'm getting kind of weirded out with the symbol that means an S. But then there's other actual S's there as well. So, I'm just like, Shakespeare? What the heck is up with your mind? Because I wouldn't keep it like that. Maybe it's something to deal with the sound or something like that. It's just, Oh well. I do need to learn how to read Old English a lot better. And the only way to do that, read a play. Yep, eventually I'm just going to be like, alright, this is awesome. And yeah. Alright, here's an interlude in a few seconds once I figure out what song I'm going to play without scarring a few people. And that may happen. It happened before. I was kind of freaked out by it. Yep. 1 second. I'm going to stop talking because if I keep talking, I'm not going to stop for a million days. Everyone knows that.
Illusions have got to cease. The second hand has finally got the best of me. I'm too aware about the singularity that brought me to the edge of time. And inside of my mind now the same what is past is coming back someday. The world is turning faster, but it's just one way, and I'm desperate to try, but anything to breathe. A simple chronophobia. A simple chronophobia now. Simple chronophobia. A simple chronophobia now. Maybe there's a science or technology to help me come to terms with my maker. Since natural selection never banked on me, I must be an exception to the plan. Someone help me understand now. Carcinogenic movements are intractable, and collagen pollutants are so terrible, but they still can't prevent the inevitable. Simple chronophobia. Simple chronophobia now. Simple partially working. All the rest are really down in the rating, while everyone is right here waiting. Out in the cold, like a bundle of coal, little packets of darkness, wanting to.
Alright, back. So, yeah, right, yeah, tongue, yeah, sorry, just had to eat something. Well, Bad Religion's pretty awesome band, if you really listen to it. Just listen to it for a second or two.
Everyone is gonna keep on waiting, waiting for me. At the end of my street, back behind our apartment.
Alright, so going with some more Bad Religion. Before I give you an analytic view, well, not analytic, I'm not anal at all. At all. I hate anal people, actually. I'd rather have a world of people imagining stuff than people just being like, hey, that doesn't make sense. Go to hell, you monster. Ah! Essentially that. So here is some more of Bad Religion while I go talk to someone. At 519, I hope you know who you are. Yeah, I blame you now.
Let me take you to the hurting ground, where all good men are trampled down, just to settle a bet that could not be won, between a prideful father and his son. Won't you guide me now, for I can't see a reason for the suffering and this long misery. What if every living soul could be upright and strong? Well, then I do imagine there will be sorrow. There will be sorrow. There will be sorrow no more. When all soldiers lay their weapons down, or when all king and queen relinquish their crowns, or when the only true Messiah rescues us from ourselves. It's easy to imagine there will be sorrow, and there will be sorrow, there will be sorrow no more, no more. There will be sorrow, and there will be sorrow. There will be sorrow no more. And there will be sorrow, and there will be sorrow, and there will be sorrow no more. We all love a list, from music charts to grocery reminders. What would we do without them? So, to feed our obsession, we came up with Top List. Now, you can see what's hot in your region, and also the rest of the world. And if you connect with Spotify to Facebook, you can see your friends' list too. Oh, the joy of lists. If you know hip-hop, then you know the name Def Jam. And now one of the biggest labels in recording history begins a new chapter. Free, inside Spotify. Enjoy playlists, mixes, and features by the artists, producers, and executives who made hip-hop what it is. Just click the banner for the definitive word on.
Alright then. Wasn't planning to take that long, but yeah. Damn Spotify commercials. Ads. What the fuck you wanna call them. So, where I was actually going with all that was with Bad Religion. I just love how they actually use things that make sense. Not like hip-hop or rap. That's just about fucking hoes and all that shows. Yeah. Anyone could rap like that. Honestly, if you took long enough to learn poetry in, let's say, high school, you can rap, you fucking bitch. So, yeah, that about wraps it up. Not the whole entire, broadcast or whatever, recording, memoir, whatever you want to call this classic shit. Oh, that called shit? Oh, no, it's not. It's just me talking. Repeatedly, and just doing this mostly because I'm kind of having a rough week. And I want to just do something that gets my mind just off of it. This is option numero uno. Alright, I don't know why, but yeah. Essentially, yeah. Now to see what I was messaged on Facebook. Oh, fun. But it's the only way I can talk to someone. Yes, someone. Okay then. Alright. So, let's go to another topic. Let's go Roman Empire during the Egyptian Civil War. And yes, there have been multiple Egyptian Civil Wars. Figure that out or go die by a viper bite. Wait, was it a viper that killed her? Cleopatra, the whatever amount that I really don't care about because Cleopatras are just Cleopatras. Pretty awesome. In their day and age, let's say. Well, maybe this time. No, wait. Nefertari would be now what we would still consider to be nice. Very, very, very nice. And I'm talking that way about a dead person. This is kind of weird if you really think about it. Yep. I bet the sands of Egypt is turning right now. But it's completely hilarious if you think about what ended up happening. Julius Caesar goes there, fucks with Cleopatra. I heard she was fun. And then eventually they end up having a son. I believe the son was named... It's something with P. A P named son. I used to know this by heart, but right now, I really don't care anymore. It's kind of sad. But I remember he was adopted, and his official name at first was Caesarian Caesar. You know how much fun that would have to be, like, Caesarian Caesar, Caesarian Caesar. And then you think about C-section. Yeah. Which is actually, they say it's named because that is the surgery that happened to Julius Caesar's mother. There is nothing known about her. So either she died during childbirth, or someone killed her. I blame his dad, but his dad was a bitch anyway. So we're not going to blame him anymore than we have to. But then Julius Caesar was a pompous ass anyway. He was like, yeah, I'm awesome. I get all the women I want. Maybe men. There is a whole entire tale that everyone thinks about. But there is no actual truth of it. Unless you want to go back in time and be like, hey, come in this cup. Or, let me put you to sleep while I remove something out of your ass. Yeah. Or anything like that. It would just not be fun. And also, you'd probably get killed. Or they'll be right after you, and you're like, to the time machine! And then a spirit goes right through your throat, and you're like, cruel world! Damn you, you Romans! I should have went to the Anglo-Saxons. They know how to treat a man. Unlike you savages. With nice embroidery. Yeah. Honestly, now think about that. Now my mind's going to Hector and what Achilles did to him. What cruel fate would it be to have a spear in your jugular, just enough so you can't talk, and your enemies just like trash talking. You're like, oh, I heard you are defending Troy, and your wife Andromeda, I think it was Andromeda, if I believe, or Andromache. I'm going Andromeda because that's just better for my story. And yeah. And basically Andromeda is right there with their child, like, no! Not Hector! I think I said Hector with a very hard CT. Hector. Yeah. That's kind of weird. So, continuing with that, Achilles is also a bitch if you really think about it. He's a martyr, I believe. Yeah. And what he does after he kills Hector, they just chain him to the back of my chariot, and let's run around Troy for quite a few times, just so Andromeda can watch and watch and watch her husband die and bleed and die. He was dead way before. And this is all because the Trojans killed my cousin. My cousin! And we all know Achilles ends up dying. Hurrah! And Troy still goes down. Aeneas is like, let's go. Let's go. And then he goes off vision about, let's say, I believe, yeah, the creation of Rome. And it's a Trojan bloodline. The city of antiquity. Their blood flowing into the streets of Rome, upon the hill and down the slippery slope for all men to try to climb within their own bodily fluid. Dismay. This sounds almost like hell. But we're not. I think it'd be Atrion. Is it Atrion? That's. I'm gonna say Atron's the boiling blood one. Just think about that. Think about it for a second. And I know I'm not talking about bad religion like I should have been, but this topic is a lot more influential in my opinion, because just think about all this for a little while. I'm not going to say anything because I don't want to annoy anyone. Thus, why I believe that this is something that's going to maybe help someone eventually. And what I'm trying to say with all this entire thing is, like, our world is one weird place, but it's damn awesome. Just look at it. Alright, so there's a lot of crazy people in the past. There's crazy people right now, and we just ignore them. We're like your Tea Party, left-wing lunatic, right-wing lunatic. We do not associate with you. And if you associate with us, we'll kill you right in the streets. Let your blood flow into the sewers, and yeah, all that gruesomeness. And then maybe an alligator down like that will drink blood and become supercharged with human blood. Which absolutely makes no sense, but it'd be an awesome book. Some mutated guy who's going to become immortal ends up being killed in the streets, and his blood with all the serum going right through it starts flowing down into the sewers. And alligators out there becoming bigger, stronger, faster. Yeah. Then it goes off killing everyone in Chicago, and it's like, oh my god, it's an immortal alligator! Run! Or we move it to Canada. Yeah, let the Canadians deal with it. Yeah, Canadians. That, or we send to Europe. I'm saying more like Russia. I think the CIA would agree with that. Maybe they'll stop fighting if they have something real to fight. Real. Yeah. Not over, like, yeah, we want these rights. No, you're women, you don't get these rights. That is not how we should be dealing with this. How we should be dealing with this? A greater threat calls us to fight and join together. Let's say how women won their rights in the U.S. Because we were fighting the government itself at the time. And women were like, we want our rights! And we're like, they could fight for us. Let's do it. Let's make them happy. Because they'll make us unhappy. Weeks without it, we'll die. Die, I tell you. They'll kill off the human race. They can. It's their bodies. They have the power. Alright, going on with that. I don't know why, I just want to go off on that tangent. This is a lot of fun for me, personally. I don't expect any of you to be like, yeah, ha, 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 ha. Ha! But if you think about that, that's all just hogwash in the end. War and so forth. War you do because there are idiots, or you can get something out of it. Yeah, and thus, there is all you need to know in your life about war, and all you really need to know for anything. But carrying on with that, we look at another view of this world, something very sick and disorderly. Society. It's one of those weird things when you get to a moment you're like, alright, I should like society because it's people getting together, but I don't like society. What the hell went wrong with me in the human race? Is it genetically something wrong, or is this what humanity should start feeling like, that we were in groups before because that was all we had to do to survive? Now, you really don't need like 20 people to live another day against those lions. and then those lions preparing to eat your children, and also those rats eating off the face of your kids. Yeah, we're beyond that point, so you can have a family of 3 people at least. Well, you could have a family of 2, you and your woman. Kids just never make anything better. They're nice to have eventually, but at the beginning, you're kind of fucking yourself over. And also, all the amount of money, especially if you have a girl. Holy cow. By the time you're done paying for her, you could have bought a house on some island somewhere, probably. And that's an exaggeration. Maybe. It depends. If you had that much money right now, and you saved it, I haven't got statistics, I don't. So we're going off that. Off that. Yeah, exactly. That's what I said. It's kind of weird, but we're going with it. Now thinking about this all, this memoir is kind of weird, to be honest. But throughout it all, I just see one thing. One thing alone. I know this silence is freaking you out, but it's a silence that must happen. That must happen. Yes. Silence. Alright, so now that silence is over, now I believe I gotta say one thing above all things else. Economy, society, government, and all those crazy people that are like, yeah, let's fight for this government, America, yeah! I do not understand you, any of you, to be honest. I understand personally what you're doing and why you're doing it, but I just don't get them as people. It's not like they're people anymore. It's like, we are machines. We are programmed to believe this. And if you tell us otherwise, you must be assimilated. Even if that means your own death has to be pulled as a consequence. Your single death is not important. But we have the masses to take over this world. The resources to kill all men that we want and dry them of their blood. Because a man with a heart is a man no longer but something that should be killed because it's disease, tainted. Destroy the heart. Make them into us. And that's essentially totalitarianism in a nutshell. And after hearing that, you're kind of like, holy shit, or laughing your ass off. I'm honestly want to laugh my ass off, but I'll do that after I listen to this again afterwards. Getting to 23 minutes now on this segment, which would be the second half, but you guys are probably watching the whole thing, so this would be about 30 plus minutes. Very cool. Very cool. Alright, so economy I brought up. Why do I think economy is kind of bad in many ways? It centers around how we can use people to sell our product and get rich, and also make the government look better. Or worse. Depends on our own ideology. Smaller companies, of course, they're going to like stand by made in the U.S. and try to build the U.S. economy. Big corporations, they're like, this country dies. This organization will live on. and so forth to be shot. Shot! And essentially you go through all that, and you find out all governments will fall eventually. Economy doesn't matter at all. A lot of businesses will be destroyed, but some businesses will remain. And let's think about the best business ever created. The Catholic Church. The Holy Roman Catholic Church. Holy shit! Think about that for a second. It was there right before the fall of Rome. It's still here. You still have a Pope. Even though they're not fighting in wars and they're not like, let me take out these machetes and let's cut your face off. Or like, let's build up our money, our stock of gold. Let's thirst off the people. Oh, and also kick Dante Alighieri out of Florence because he's just such a weird person. Also, he loved that girl named Beatrice. He doesn't know the Pope had sex with her for a while. Sex or rape. Whatever. The Pope is holy. He can do whatever he wants, and it's justified by God and Jesus Christ. Christ! Then no one asks you any more questions because they were like, holy cow. They brought up JC! JC! Yeah, we're not going to question that at all. JC is awesome. He's better than that Islamic person. Shit. That Islamic or Hebrew or whatever, Jewish or whatever, those people are just weird. Weird. All hail Allah! And that's not what we hear, and we're like, oh, that's all wrong, that's all wrong. We believe in the Virgin Mary, even though she had a child, and the child had to come out somehow. And we're ignoring that could have ever happened. And yet so. She's the Virgin Mother. Mary! That is kind of weird if you really think about it. We are like, oh, they say Allah, kill them all. Shoot them one by one before they kill us all. Oh, they believe in Mary, the Virgin Mother? Well, let's think about this. There are many things virgin that we call virgin. That's not virgin. Virgin oil, for example, is virgin to some extent. It's not truly virgin. Then we have the Virgin Queen of England. She had sex like crazy. Like it was a hot commodity. Honestly, I don't think of sex that way. I'd rather love a woman than be like, hey, let's do it tonight. Get it on. Get naked. Yeah, I like it. Let's get in. Nice and hard. Let's get some. No, I'm not like that. Well, I could be, depending on the situation, and depending on who I'm with. Yes, you know who you are. And so I'm just saying that there are really moments where you just look at what people say, and it's like, what the hell is up with you? Christian Bible? Pish! You're not much different than any other religious text out there. And I'd be amazed if anyone else believed in you as they should. I'd honestly rather have Dionysus as still someone to be praising, because who doesn't love someone that was sewn into Zeus's thigh so he could live? Then he becomes the god of madness, of humanity! Madness, the madness of the grape. And, well, the delicateness and the beauty of the grape. And the craziness that comes with alcoholic suggestions. And so forth we go on with that, and on, and on, and on, and on. And I don't know why I had to say that in musical tone, because I'm bored, and it's only 5:47, and I need to do something actual use, but there's nothing to do. And that's the limit of my lungs. Alright, now that I got that weird moment through, Yes, I'm very weird at times. Get over it. And if you can't get over it, get the fuck out. Peace, bro. Or hope. So, going on with that. Yeah. Yeah. There are a lot of messed up stuff in this world if you really think about looking right down at it. But the thing about me, I know it's messed up. But I'm not going to say anything until I really have to. Because I want to live happy if I can. You guys can go kill yourself for all cause if you think it's justice or righteous. I'll just be sitting here like, I told them not to do it. But they ran off the cliff anyway. They're like sheep. I'm sorry that I'm the only sheep that just didn't jump. I looked at the cliff, I was like, there's rocks down there. Oh my gosh, there's the sheep head there too. I'm not joining that fate. Then the shepherd tried to kick me off, then I kicked the shepherd off, and after biting his hand, I'd be one kick-ass sheep. I probably need a cape for being that awesome. But, going on with that, I just want happiness in life. I'd love to fix the world. Well, the world is so far from being fixed. I'm alright with just spending my life writing, improving that art, and becoming an amazing man as I grow up. And die eventually, but before that, I am going to have an awesome life. I'm going to party like crazy next year and the years to follow, and it's just going to be awesome overall. While I'll also eventually plan to settle down with someone that may be listening to this right now. Da, da, da. And with that, I'll just live my life, be happy, start what I want to, and if I ever have a kid, I'll be the worst father ever, because I'll just lay it down straight to him as he gets older, and just be like, son, if you do this, I'll have to beat you up. I'm not afraid of the law. If you're going to learn anything from me, it's going to be this, that you have to try hard or go home. And by home, I don't mean here, because I don't support laziness. And then he'll be like, Dad, relax. It was just something about women. And women. The thing that hurt men the most. In the end. Okay, maybe not the most, but they can be annoying at times, even though we love them to death. Yeah, I do love her to death. Yeah, you all know that. So, going on from that. Viva la revolution! No, whatever. I don't know how to speak Spanish that well anymore. I could say, hola, wait, nombre, like a woman. What did I say there? What? Oh. I say it's the Mexican within me speaking out. Alright, there's no Mexican in me. I'd be kind of upset if there was. All European American descent with warm belly. I blame that on the Norwegian side. They are pretty warm people. Alright, so going on with that, now that we're getting to 33 minutes, I just gotta say one last thing. Life is awesome if you take the time to just relax and live it. Maybe sometimes I make stupid mistakes and I forget stuff, and I say I'm sorry for it, and then they're like, oh, you don't have to be sorry for it, just know you not to do this next time. And I'm like, I'm saying sorry not for you, I don't care what you think. I'm saying sorry for myself, bitch. But that is not what I tell them. I'm just like, yeah, it was just, yeah, I know, my fault completely. Let's just ignore it, man. I'll get my grade up later or something like that. And usually I get off by that. I have train myself well to talk to people and get out of stuff I should not get out of. Some people say that's awesome. Some people say I'm using the system. I was created to use the system is all I'll respond. And to follow up with that, I'll have one last song playing in a few seconds. So, have fun. Be merry. Do something in your life. Live your life. You're not going to live forever, so live it now. And if you don't live it now, I'm going to beat your ass until you do live your life. So listen now.
I met some student the other day at a sports bar. We had a beer, shot some pool, watching NASCAR. We talked about it, everything was falling apart. But here we are now, we'll make it somehow. That's the way you tell me we're so down, we can't be found. Oh, it's better to get care, it's nothing yet. It's a perfect night, it's almost better to get dead. Happen with the sweat. It's a perfect night. It's a perfect night. So the dude said his girlfriend left him last night. She's rolling sober, never calling, was a big fight. Shake it off, go on, moving like it's alright. No more thinking, keep on drinking. Tell me what's tell me what's so down, we can't be found. Oh, it's better to get there, it's nothing yet. It's a perfect night, oh, it's better to get there, happen with the sweat. It's a perfect night. And even though it seems we're falling back, we're never getting up. And even though it seems we'll never have enough, we're still alive, so alive. How much better can you get? You ain't seen nothing yet. It's a perfect day. 'Cause we're tell me what's so down, we can't be found. Oh, it's better to get there, it's nothing yet. It's a perfect night, oh, it's better to get there, happen with the sweat. It's a perfect night. It's a perfect night. I met some dude the other day at a sports bar. We had a beer, shot some pool, watching NASCAR. We talked about it, everything was falling apart. But here we are now, we'll make it somehow.